First thing we're going to need to do is drain the antifreeze. It's an 8mm bolt right here. Just pop that off a little bit. There's a washer on there, so make sure that doesn't get lost in the whole thing. Put it in the bottom. And once a little bit of that leaks out, you can go ahead and take the radiator cap and release the pressure. Now we need to release the pressure from the antifreeze. Radiator here, pop the cap off. Set that aside. Now we're flowing pretty good. Alright, once we have that drained, put the drain bolt back in. Okay. Now we gotta take the gas tank off. Little strap there. That aside. And then we gotta take bolt out of the radiator on the side here. Radiator shroud. Let's release it from the radiator itself. I wish I had a set of T-handles. I'll have to upgrade those next. A bit more. Okay. Set that there. This side. Make sure the gas is off. I'll have to pull the gas line off. Do the top one or the bottom one? I think I released the bottom one before to drain some old gas out, so we'll just put this one back up. We'll release this one. Slide it up, pinch it. Screwdriver here. Take a little screwdriver. And just kind of pinch it up. Pop it off the top of the carburetor. Okay. We've got a bolt here at the top on the tank. It's bolted to the head of the frame. Move that. Okay. Two radiator shroud bolts, top of the tank bolt. And remove the gas tank. Inside here. We got access to the radiator cap back on. Spark plug cable off. And then I'll take a small screwdriver and release the top radiator hose. Gotta remove this right here, another clamp here for the frame. All these are 8mm here. Okay. Pipe. Now we got access to the cylinder head. I'm going to put one more pipe off, or one more coolant hose off. Okay. There. I got that off. Lose these. Let's put these up high. Alright, now let's remove the cylinder head. $12mm. Four 12mm bolts on top of the cylinder head. Sitting underneath here. Okay. Get out of the way here. Light tap, especially if you don't have a rubber mallet. Alright. That spark plug was fouled out. Set that there. Cylinder looks good. This is the original piston and ring. I bought this bike in March of 2018, brand new, for my son's 9th birthday, and gasket. And this is the first piston replacement we've done on it, and it is June of 2019. So it's time for a top end rebuild. And now we're going to take the cylinder off. 12mm base cylinder too. This one may be I might have to remove that coolant hose there. Let's see if I can get it without it. So you can't get a box end on that. Other side of the base cylinder here. And we got the one in the front here. Four cylinders on the top of the cylinder head, or 4 bolts on the top of the cylinder head, 4 bolts on the cylinder itself, cylinder base. Okay, so this cylinder bolt and stud that hold the cylinder base on, this one's really tight tolerances, so you got to get a wrench that fits on there well, and this smaller box end wrench fits in there. So we got that loose. The nut off, get this nut off. And then we'll take these two off. cylinder should slide right off. Should have a rubber mallet when you do this, but just tap it slightly. And we're gonna put the piston down at the bottom, as far down as it'll go out of the cylinder, so it's sitting in the base of the cases when we pull this head off. Okay, broke that seal loose. Let's pull this straight up. Pull the cylinder out. Cylinder looks good. Set that underneath. The head next to it. Base gasket off. We need to get a new one of those. And here's the piston. That's how we get to the piston there. We'll replace the piston and rings. And new bearing, circlip. So you can see I ran Maxima Caster 927 castor oil in this, and top doesn't look like it's been, the motor was fairly rich, the whole bike was pretty rich. I ran a little bit on the rich side to kind of prolong the motor so it wouldn't burn the piston up. So piston doesn't look like it's too bad a shape, but I know we're going to need a new one and a new set of rings, so we'll put a new piston and ring on there. Definitely want to put a rag in there in the casing so that when you pull the wrist pin out, nothing falls down in to the bottom end of the motor. If that happens, then you got to split the cases and get it out, or it'll chunk your motor. What I've done is I've put the piston at top dead center to get it up as high as possible from the casing, and then I took a rag, put it down on top of these here, completely sealing it off from the bottom end so that when I pull this pin out, even if it goes flying, it doesn't go into the bottom of the motor. So we pull this pin out. There's that. I'm just going to set that right there. Actually, let me set it down below here with the cylinder and everything. And then I should be able to push this pin out from the other side. Like that. Okay. Get out of there, you booger. Alright. Got the pin pulled out. And pulled the piston off. Piston looks like it's in pretty good shape for being more than a year old. I'm not sure how many hours I have on this thing, or my son put on it, but I think that Maxima Caster 927 protected it very well. Everything looks pretty good. Here's the bearing. Gonna get a new one of those. And yeah, so that's the end of part one. Disassembly of the top end. Go get a new top end, and stay tuned for part two, putting it back together.